In the headlines, 10 die as Jigawa records 91 suspected diphtheria cases. Zamfara residents concerned over incessant attacks, killings and kidnappings. Lagos Tribunal to deliver judgment on Roads Viva, Jandor's petition September 25th. Away from Nigeria, thousands march against police violence in France. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news in full. The Jigawa State Ministry of Health has confirmed the death of 10 people from a suspected case of the diphtheria disease, which has been recorded in 14 local government areas in the state. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Salisu Mazu, made the confirmation while fielding questions from newsmen on the state of prevalence rate. Mazu explained that so far 2 cases had been confirmed at Kazauri and Jahul local government, as some samples have been taken to Abuja for confirmation. According to him, the epidemic had been recorded at areas with a 0 dose of routine immunization in the affected local government areas in the state. Mazu noted that the ministry had conducted investigation and collected necessary information and data in the affected areas and updated the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency and Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention for further actions. In the same vein, the Bauchi state government says the diphtheria disease has killed 34, with the state recording 296 suspected cases, despite surveillance response efforts. The executive chairman of the State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Rulwan Mohammed, made the disclosure while giving an update on the diphtheria outbreak in the state. Report.
The primary healthcare boss explained that 11 local government areas have confirmed the outbreak of the disease with 8 new cases. He says health workers are still collecting samples for the suspected cases, while those confirmed are receiving treatment at the designated centers in Jama'are local council area.
Now, government decided that we should also look at the state that the infection is coming up, outbreak is coming. So that's why we selected another 10 states. 10 local government that we're going to carry out work. And that is coming in the next 3 weeks. We are gathering information. We are doing macro planning and macro census to see how many children we are going to vaccinate so that we'll be able to get them vaccinated.
Mohammed maintained that one of the major setbacks is the rejection of vaccination by people, adding that vaccines reduce chances of being infected.
There's no reason why people will not accept this vaccination. Because it's not polio why they suspected that they put something like infertility, but this one is that people rejected the vaccination because of selfish interests.
He also disclosed that the federal government and other health partners are working to arrest further spread of the disease in the affected local government areas, noting that awareness campaign on the disease is ongoing in the other 9 local councils areas of the state. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The incessant attacks, killings and kidnappings on the Funchua-Gusau highway remains militating factors against the socio-economic growth and development of the area as residents grapple with the poverty and unemployment. The recent abduction of some female students of the Federal University Gusau by suspected bandits re-emphasizes the need for a robust security measure that will guarantee safety of life and property. Report.
It was a Black Friday for students of the Federal University of Gusau as they woke up to the unpleasant news of the abduction of their female colleagues at the Sabangida community a few meters away from their school. Trust TV gathered that over 50 female students of the institution and a protocol named Ibrahim Ezekiel were said to have been kidnapped at their private hostels at Sabangida and around the university community. Garba Buge, who is one of the security personnel of the university and an eyewitness, narrated his ordeal. When I heard the sound of gunshot, I thought my colleagues were the ones shooting, but later I found out that armed bandits were coming to the community. When I sighted them, I hide somewhere and reasoned that if I attempted to shoot at them, they would kill me. The armed bandits came in large numbers into the community on foot. They left their motorcycles somewhere outside the community. They carried deadly weapons. They started shooting sporadically to scare people away. They even shot at me, but the bullet only passed through my shirt but did not touch my body. I saw the armed bandit kidnapping the female student and taking them out of the community. The female students were many, but I cannot say the exact number abducted into the forest. Some of the students declined commenting on the issue for fear of possible consequences, considering the fact that after the last protest, which they staged against the abduction of 5 of their colleagues, the university's management later expelled some of them from the institution. The management of the Federal University of Gusau also refused to comment on the latest abduction of its female students.
The police said it will deploy adequate personnel, including plainclothes officers, for the governorship elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa states slated for November 11th. The first public relations officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, who disclosed this in an interview with The Punch, said some anti-riot equipment such as tear gas canisters, water cannons, armored personnel carriers, and drones will be used by policemen during the elections. Adejobi disclosed that the leadership of the police had held several meetings with the Independent National Electoral Commission at the level of a committee co-chaired by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebetokun, and the INEC Chairman, Prof. Mahmoud Yakubu. With about 7 weeks to the off-season elections, there is palpable political tension in the 3 states. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Governorship Election Tribunal is set to deliver judgment on Monday, September 25th, on the petitions filed by the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, Badebo Rhodes Vivo, and his counterpart of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Olajide Adediran, popularly known as Jandor. The Justice Arum Ashom-led panel communicated this message to parties on Saturday. Rhodes Vivo and Jandor are challenging the return of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat of the All Progressives Congress APC in the March 18 governorship elections in Lagos State by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). On August 12, lawyers in the petitions adopted their final written addresses before the tribunal. Now, Benue State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Makurdi has upheld the election of Governor Aicent Alia of the All Progressives Congress in a unanimous decision delivered by 3 justices. The court submitted that it has no jurisdiction to entertain the case. Jimmy Azandi has more on this.
Reacting to the judgment, counsels to the APC and Governor Alia say both parties have done what is right within the judicial system.
Tribunal held that it was affected by the principle of res judicata. It was an abuse of process, and that the tribunal had no jurisdiction. And to that effect, they not only held that they had no jurisdiction, but in terms of the merit, they dismissed the petition.
I can see that all the issues that were tabled by the respective parties, both the petitioners and the respondents, were all resolved. So in effect, they have affirmed the decision of the good people of Benue State, which they came up with on the 18th of March by electing Reverend Father Alia as the governor of Benue State.
Also, the APC, through its publicity secretary, said the petitioner had no case, as he also urged the opposition to join hands in the development of Benue State.
To also thank the tribunal for taking a decision that is in alignment with the aspiration of the majority of Benue people. They voted massively for Father Alia and myself, and this has been affirmed today. So we thank the tribunal for giving us justice.
The court just affirmed what happened at the polls. We are happy. We knew we had a strong case. We knew that the mandate given to our party and the government was unshaken, it was solid ground. And so we had no worries at all. And the court just affirmed what we say we believe in, and throughout dismiss the case. So we are happy, we're elated, and we want to call on the opposition to join hands with our administration, the to develop the state. They had no case at all because the mandate was freely given to us by the people.
The tribunal dismissed the petition of the People's Democratic Party and its governorship candidate Taitu Suba, challenging the election held on March 18, on the grounds that it lacked the constitutional powers to do so. Counsel to PDP and its candidate Taitu Suba declined comments on the outcome of the case. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The lawmaker representing Pangshin, Kanke, Kanama Federal Constituency of Plateau State in the House of Representatives, Yusuf Adamu Gagdi, has described the recent judgment by the Plateau State Gubernatorial Election Tribunal as a minor setback in the broader political landscape. The tribunal had dismissed the petition filed by the All Progressives Congress APC candidate Nantawe Yilwalda for lacking merit and upheld the election of Kelly Mufwang of the People's Democratic Party PDP as governor of the state. In a statement in Abuja on Saturday, Gagdi said while the judgment represented a temporary setback, it did not shake his unwavering faith in the justice system. Gagdi, who also serves as chairman of the House Committee on Navy, emphasized that the outcome was just one pace in the electoral process, adding that the journey for justice is far from over. Now, boat operators in Yola, the Adamawa State capital, have decried the high cost of life jackets, which has become a necessary safety tool for their business. This development is leading to a 100% increase in transport fare for passengers going to Cameroon from Adamawa from 4,000 to 8,000 naira. The said government made the use of life jackets mandatory in light of recent boat accidents. Salis Loan has more on this.
2 weeks after the Rugange, Maye-Ine and Green Board mishaps incidences, the government placed a ban on any travel without life jacket on the waters. It is a journey that boat operators and passengers believe is expensive. They said the government is yet to fulfill its promise of providing life jackets. According to them, from Adamawa to Cameroon is 4,000, but they had to increase the fare to 8,000 to enable them buy life jackets that cost between 15 to 20,000 to save passengers' lives.
We
have some security men who are enforcing the ban on no travel without life jackets. In fact, they will not allow you to even come close to the water if you are not wearing the life vest. So for us here, this is a whole new thing that is fast changing the business.
With the recent boat mishaps in 3 riverside communities in Adamawa, which claimed many lives, swimming and boat traveling patterns changed. Swimmers are no longer seen on this big river. Abubakar Umar is a boat operator who said he have not traveled for 1 week due to his inability to buy life jackets for the safety of his passengers. He called on the government to fulfill its promise.
They
placed a ban on traveling without life jackets, but they are yet to provide us with any. Before the ban, we used tubes as a safety measure, but it is not working anymore. I am just praying that when the life vests come, they should reach us, because most of such supports from the government usually gets hijacked.
Passenger mutane 12 muke daukawa, amma tunda passenger suna zuwa ne da kayan su, za a rage yawan passenger, sai a yi lissafi kayan da za a sa ciki, sai a yi tafiya daidan abun da zai.
I'm afraid to say, not all of us can afford buying 15 life vests to our passengers, because with no load on the boats, we carry 15 people from here to Cameroon. Charging 8,000 naira per head is to meet up with the life jacket demand.
Records from both mishaps that occurred recently in 3 different communities of Adamawa indicate that most of the victims did not wear life jackets.
Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV, coming off after the break. We take a look at varying opinions on the concept of joint account by couples. Details of this and more after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. 10 die as Jigawa records tonight one suspected diphtheria cases. And Zamfara residents concerned over incessant attacks, killings and kidnappings. Now to more news. 18-hour rainfall has caused Idiokudu River streams and water channels in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi state capital, and its influence to overflow into residential areas, roads and farms on Saturday morning. The rain started at about 7 p.m. on Friday and stopped on Saturday's morning around 6 a.m. The Litros observed that Salt Lake Hotel, located in the Abakaliki metropolis, was affected by the flood as guests who lodged in the rooms were trapped on Saturday morning. Our correspondent who visited the area reports that the swimming pool side, bar and vehicles parked in the hotel were submerged in the flood. Also affected were a Catholic school known as St. Teresa Secondary and Primary Schools and a fish pond boat located in Ada Street, Abakaliki metropolis. Other areas hit by the flood were buildings along the water coast of Odense River, some sections of Centenary City along Abakaliki Ogoja Road in the city capital. However, no official statement has been issued by the state government. Now, marital life requires resources to sustain, and the man shoulders the responsibilities to cater for the needs of the family. But nowadays, couples split their bills equally against the age-long cultural practice. Trust TV's Bello Musa speaks to a cross-section of Kaduna residents who shared their experience on the concept of joint account by couples. Report.
In African culture, husband is the head and the provider of the needs of the family. Against the spirit of this culture and the tradition, Couples now jointly work to cater for the family needs due to many reasons. Some Kaduna residents expressed their views on the splitting of bills in the matrimonial homes.
Once you have a joint account in the family, which is maybe you are funding the account and your husband too is funding the account, you can use the money to do some emergency. In terms of emergency, like maybe your children are sick, you might use the money to take them to the hospital and the rest. I think it's a good idea and I can do that.
Yes, couples buying things together, sharing responsibilities within the family is a good thing. In fact, it's a sign of unity amongst the family.
The issue of a joint account is something that is happening in the Western world, not in our culture here. In our culture, we have seen it a man be the head of the family, a man be the owner of the account, a man be the ones paying the bills in the house, a man be the one paying for the food we eat in the house, not a woman be the one paying for the bills of the house, pay for the food we are eating in the house, except the man is the man is sick.
In olden days, during our own time, we do everything with our couple. Like our wife, we can do whatever we like, say, so see this, because we have good thinking during that time. But as at now, life has changed.
Though joint account creates stability and strengthens the bonds of union between couples, this comes often with disadvantage.
But it has its own disadvantage because some of us are entangled with our culture, which permits us to have one or more wives. What if I build my home with my husband and build a house together, and later he comes up that he wants to get married? Will I allow him come bring the woman to my house? No.
I am a clear testimony. I did that with my wife. We are still together. But unfortunately, once there is a discord, once there is disagreement, it affects even the account you tend to develop as a result, with a view, to take care of the problem that will emerge, within the family.
Okay, let's come to that aspect. And this woman wants to assist her mother. They say, honey, my mother needs some money. I want to take from that account. I want to send to my mother. The husband will spring up the same idea. Honey, my mother equally need money. I want to take from that account and send to my mother. Many say it is against the African culture to allow women fend for the family. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Officers and men of the Federal Road Safety Corps Ngo Opala Unit 9 Command in Imo State have been commended for exhibiting a high level of professionalism in the management of an accident. This was demonstrated by their prompt response at a fatal accident scene along Owerri Aba Road in Ngo Opala area of the state. Ajibade Ewefaso tells us more.
It was a head-on collision by two buses. The first one conveying goods and one other passenger outside the driver was heading to Owerri from Aba, the commercial hub of Abia State, while the other, fully loaded with passenger, was heading to Aba from Owerri, the Imo State capital. The unfortunate incident occurred when one of the drivers tried to overtake without proper checks, leading to a head-on collision. Conducting the Trust TV News crew round the evacuated vehicle at the unit command, the unit commander, Angela Fagbemide, said the impact of the collision was of high degree as both drivers were on a very high speed.
And crashed into the other one head on. Let's move. But in this case now, we were fortunate.
When notified of the incident, men of the unit, despite the non-functionality of their operational vehicles and ambulance, enlisted the help of their personnel and members of the public to get vehicles for the rescue mission. They equally recovered large sum of monies belonging to some of the market women involved in the crash, which they handed over to their family members who turned up. Some of them expressed gratitude to the personnel of the command for their professionalism.
The cash is a total of 1,298,750 RS 9.44 Ngopala we hand over this recovered money to you. And we wish your mom quick recovery.
Amen.
Hand over these recovered items to you. The sum of 47,500 naira and some personal effects, some travel documents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Contrary to the claim by some reports making the round on the social media that all victims of the crash died, the command say only 3 persons died, a position the doctor who attended to most of them corroborated.
11 that were brought to Iowa, we certified 2. 2 were brought in dead. Then others survived. 9 of them survived. We have discharged about 3. We transferred 2 others to another hospital. As we speak, 4 are still in our facility.
Some of them have been discharged and reunited with their families for further treatment, while others are still recuperating at the intensive care unit of the hospital. The commander cautioned drivers to desist from overspeeding and shun the act of overtaking vehicles without proper checks while driving. Ajibade Awofeso, Trust TV News, Owerri.
And now, away from Nigeria, tens of thousands of people marched in France on Saturday to protest police violence in demonstrations organized by the left. With clashes breaking out on the margin of the Paris rally, the nationwide protest came just under 3 months after the point-blank killing by a policeman of a youth outside Paris at a traffic check sparked over a week of rioting in Paris and elsewhere. In Paris, demonstrators of all ages held up placards proclaiming "Stop State Violence, Don't Forgive or Forget," or the law kills, with a statue of justice with its eyes crossed out in red. The demonstrators took particular aim at Article 435(1) of the Internet Security Code introduced in 2017, which extends the possibility for the forces of law and order to shoot in the event of a suspect's refusal to comply. The demonstrators were responding to a call by the radical left, including the hard left France Unbowed, LFI. Union said some 80,000 people joined the protests across France, including 15,000 in Paris. But the Interior Ministry put the number at 1,300 nationwide, with 9,000 in Paris. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.